and we're at Pumpkin Hill. You ready? I ain't gon' let it get to me, I'm just gon' creep down in Pumpkin Hill. I got to find my lost piece. I know that it's here, I can sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere. I'm gonna hold my head, cause I have no fear. This probably seems crazy, a graveyard theory. Our ghosts try to approach me and got leery. Ask him a question and he vanished in a second. I'm walking through valleys, crying pumpkins in the alley. Didn't seem happy, but they sure tried to get me. Had to back them up with a fist metal crackle. I'm hearing someone saying, you a chicken, don't be scared. It had to be the wind, cause nobody wasn't there. I searched and I searched as I climbed up the wall. And then I started to fly, I went in deeper. Let it get to me, I'm just gon' creep down Pumpkin Hill, I got to find my lost piece. I know that it's here, I sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere. I gotta hold my head, I have no fear. It probably seems crazy, a graveyard theory. A ghost try to approach me, he got leery. I'm just gon' creep down in Pumpkin Hill, I got to find my lost piece. I know that it's here, I can sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere. I'm gonna hold my head, cause I have no fear. This probably seems crazy, a graveyard theory. Our ghosts try to approach me and got leery. Ask him a question and he vanished in a second. I'm walking through valleys, crying pumpkins in the alley. Didn't seem happy, but they sure tried to get me. Had to back them up with a fist metal crackle. I'm hearing someone saying, you a chicken, don't be scared. It had to be the wind, cause nobody wasn't there. I searched and I searched as I climbed up the wall. And then I started to fly, I went in deeper. Let it get to me, I'm just gon' creep down Pumpkin Hill, I got to find my lost piece. I know that it's here, I sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere. I gotta hold my head, I have no fear. It probably seems crazy, a graveyard theory. A ghost try to approach me, he got leery.
Spooky up in here, it's crazy in here. We still gon' keep it going, I'm Knuckles. Nobody scares me. Whoever want it, bring it. I don't care, we can do this. Then come step up to the
is here to stay. Alec Hunter knows the way. Alec Hunter, king of crochet. Alec Hunter will make your day. Alec Hunter is here to stay. Alec Hunter knows the way. Alec Hunter, king of crochet. Alec Hunter will make your day. Rap about a man named Alec Hunter, tricking this girl and I straight up Alec stumped her. Holding crossbow like he's literally Alec Hunter. Passing a football called this dude Alec Hunter. When he's doing bad he is trash like Alec Dumpster. Wife is literally cheating so Alec go confront her. Thinking about stuff he's doing and Alec wonder. Shooting lightning from his fingers like he's Alec Thunder. Alec Hunter is here to stay. Alec Hunter knows the way. Alec Hunter, king of crochet. Alec Hunter will make your day. Alec Hunter is here to stay. Alec Hunter knows the way. Alec Hunter, king of crochet. Alec Hunter will make your day.
Good evening, boys, girls, and MBs of all shapes, sizes, colors, and orientations. Welcome to the one and only Alec Gunter stream. My name is Alec Gunter. Forgive my tardiness. Also, forgive my sweatiness. It is still probably showing a bit. It's not as bad as I thought. I have an undershirt on, and thank God for that because holy crap, it is hot. And not only is it hot, I was working up a sweat, going around cleaning my craft stuff up. So, I'm a little sweaty still, catching my breath, trying to catch up because I was supposed to be here at 4:30. And then my speaker decided to crap out on me. So I had to switch, because usually what I do is I plug my headphones directly into my speaker. Okay, we're already getting a call here. Hold on just a second. Okay, so Marcy Rheintgen is calling us. I do need to skip some of the pleasantries. Pause the music. So anyway, I fucked up my speakers. I don't know how. We got to get on with Marcy because we have a...
Hey, kids. What's up?
I'm going to turn that off for our discussion. But thank you very much for becoming a member. I believe that's the member notification. Oh, no, wait, that's the raid. We got raided with 97 from Yara VT. Thank you very much, Yara VT. Welcome, raiders. Welcome, welcome. You are just in time. We are just about to get on with Marcy Rheintgen. I told her, give me just a second. I got to say hello to all you lovely people. I apologize. I cannot take longer to show you what I've been working on crochet-wise. We will do that later. So, without further ado, let's get on with Marcy. For those of you who don't know who she is, she was the woman who was arrested for using the bathroom in Florida, the trans woman. I'll let her do most of the explaining. I haven't looked too deep into what happened, so I will let her explain what's going on there. So, let us join the call. Hello,
Hey,
hello.
what up?
Give me
Can
just
they
a
see
second
me on
here.
the stream?
I can. Give me just a second here.
Hello, world.
You're going to have to deal with my shitty camera. There's a way to get one camera set up for Discord and OBS at the same time, but I am too lazy to do it. So I have the shit cam instead.
No, it's okay. Like most of the time when I go on like streams or whatever, like I don't even get to see the people's face or whatever.
Okay.
So this is an upgrade, dude. Like this is great.
Oh, great. Okay, excellent. Glad to hear it. I did order more RAM. I'm about to download some more RAM, so hopefully, because I've had problems with Discord video sharing before. Like right now, you're getting a little bit choppy. I don't know if that's just your connection or if it's on my end. But if that is the case, I will have to end my video feed with you and just have you on the screen. Hopefully that's okay.
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 If it's mine, I could always go downstairs because I'm upstairs right now.
Okay, well, we'll put you on. We'll see how it goes. Give me just a second.
Okay.
Okay, I just got to set this up.
Chat.
Hold on.
What are people saying in the chat? Oh yeah, I'll give you time. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Okay, here we go.
Again, if this is probably less laggy, but it's like less pretty. You know what I mean?
There we go. Yes, I do. That is fine. Okay, this should work fine. Let me put this below the webcam, and then we will be good.
Okay.
Here, actually, let me just do this. Why am I not... There we go. Okay, I think we're good. Alrighty, Marcy, welcome to the stream. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. Had a little bit of a busy day today. It's been a busy life lately. So I'm a little bit sweaty right now. I don't know if you can tell, but I was just rushing around to get all my stuff cleaned up. I've been working on my crochet crafts, so which I would love to bite your ear off
Really?
about.
Crochet.
I would love to talk your ear off about it, but we're here for you, not for me. And if I get started on crochet stuff, I will not
Okay.
stop.
Thank-
So,
That's cool.
thank you. I appreciate that. Alrighty. So, Marcy, I'll be honest. I haven't had the time to look deeply into what was happening with you. I know some of the basics, but why don't you go ahead and tell us what went down, what's going on with you? Well, actually, let's start with this. How about you tell us about you, about Marcy? Okay. We'll just start with whatever you feel comfortable sharing. Maybe when you figured out you were trans, or if you want to get into that, just whatever you feel comfortable sharing, whatever's relevant to our discussion.
I first remember having dysphoria when I was 6, but I came out to friends and family when I was 16. But my parents wouldn't let me transition when I was living under the roof, so I had to wait till I was 18 to transition, to get on hormones and stuff. And I don't know, I'm not really I think a lot of people have sort of tried to put me in a political box, but I'm not really a very political person. I feel like I've had to become more to sort of like, because I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. But like, I honestly was just a spring breaker who was just really upset about these laws, and like I wanted to do whatever I could do personally to like make a change. And so I wrote I wrote 160 letters. They're all the same letter. I just printed them out and signed them to every Florida state congressperson. So like everyone in the Florida state legislature, from the Florida state Senate to the Florida state like House of Representatives, in addition with Ron DeSantis and the Attorney General. And I just said that I thought their laws were silly and I was going to break them because I thought they were morally wrong. And I went on spring break, and then I set the day for the protest because I told them when I was going to do it. I told them where I was going to do it. I provided a photo, even what I look like. And I said, this is what I'm doing. And yeah, and I went there, and I didn't really think anything was going to happen. I thought it was going to be a nothing burger because I feel like a lot of life is boring and nothing ever happens. It's kind of, I know that's like it's overused, I guess, because something did happen this time. But also, I also felt like, I appealed to people's heartstrings, yeah. But I also sort of implicitly sort of believed that the Republicans in the Florida State Congress weren't stupid enough to self-sabotage as badly. Because I think anyone with a conscience realizes that this is terrible political optics for them, and it's making Republicans in Florida look terrible. I mean, I have friends who know people, like in like Florida, like Congress, like Florida, like representatives to the regular Congress from Florida, and a lot of them just don't like that this is happening because it just totally like destroys their narrative and makes them look bad. They were sort of freaked out initially, like the people who sponsored the bill wouldn't answer any of their calls. So I honestly didn't think it was going to happen because I knew that it was going to make them look bad. And so I got there, and I went up to the elevator. First they like scanning through, it's like very TSA. And then I went up to the elevator, went to the second floor to that's where the bathroom I was going to was. And I walked up to it, and I was met with like the police. There was like multiple police people there, like, and they were like, "Are you Marcy Rheintgen?" And I was like, yeah. And it felt so like dystopian of like, oh my gosh, like they're like coming here to like
So you didn't think they would be
they're like
pulling in the cavalry?
oh yeah. I mean, even for what I did, it's like, even if they were like, we got to arrest this person, one seems sufficient, but they had like a bunch of people there like ready to meet me in case I was gonna like escape or something. I don't know. It like seems so absurd that they had like, I mean, there was a group of police officers there ready to meet me, and I was just so like, my mind was boggled of like, what the hell? It's so dystopian.
And
you know?
just to make sure we're all square on everything, are you a violent criminal?
No, I'm not.
No? Are you sure? Have you ever committed any sort of? Have you ever been to jail at all? Have you ever been arrested?
No, this is the first time ever.
Gotcha. So I guess we're prioritizing non-violent offenders just trying to use the bathroom now. So, that's cool and fine and good. So like, I find that interesting. I mean, you clearly are an upstanding citizen. You told them this is ridiculous. And like you said, you were forced into politics, as are many trans people. In fact, I would argue the vast majority of them. I'm sure there are small pockets of society where being trans is accepted, especially in the United States, where being trans is accepted and fine and good. But, you know, with, this, with the recent Supreme Court ruling, which I'd love to get your opinion on as well, you know, this is going to uproot the medical care and the lives of so many trans people of all ages. It's quite unsettling. What do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, I really don't like that ruling because, you know, it's not only saying, hey, these bans which I don't like on minors are constitutional, but what it said is that being transgender is not a protected class, and that government could make laws against us willy nilly, whatever it wants. So theoretically, what they pave is a government like Tennessee or something could make a law making it illegal to be transgender and saying that trans people should be arrested, and it would probably be ruled constitutional unless they're willing to overrule this in some way or provide some limit. Which I don't think they're gonna overrule this. You know? Yeah.
Not with a Republican majority, most likely, unfortunately.
I'm surprised Robert sided with them too, because I felt like I feel like he was the one who always gets picked off. I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know your opinions on it, but you know, like I've come to expect nothing less from our conservative justice members. So frankly, I'm
Yeah.
not surprised. So even if he didn't side with the rest of the Republicans, it was they have majority anyway. This country
Yeah.
just seems to not like trans people or want to give them the you know, the often life-saving care that they deserve. I mean, you said that your parents didn't let you transition till you were 18. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What was that like for you?
Well, I was hospitalized for suicide. I was like, they put me in like a place
Awful. I'm sorry.
trying to kill my. Yeah. That sucked.
It is. It's life-saving care. It's, you know, and people don't understand that. You know, we have so many examples of people who have, you know, attempted to take their own lives and or self-harmed or even just been depressed and anxious. You know, even if you don't get that extreme, even if your dysphoria is not that bad, it's like, oh, well, you know, it's just a 14-year-old with crippling depression who never wants to do anything. So I guess it's fine as long as they don't get on puberty blockers, you know, God forbid. Am I safe to
Yeah.
assume, if I safe to assume that if you could go back in time and hop on puberty blockers, you know, around 11, 12, whatever, that you would have?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I could have. I mean, I would have come out to my parents younger, but I was just like afraid to. But I wish I went on hormone. Yeah.
Yep. That's a very common story, unfortunately. I was going to ask another question and it just left my brain. Oh, I remember. Have you ever at any point, you know, since transitioning, I'm assuming you're on, why don't you go ahead and explain what your current regimen is? If you would like,
On
of course.
2 milligram pills of estradiol per day, 100 milligram pills of spironolactone. That's probably not how you pronounced it. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. And then 100, so it's like 100 milligrams of that. And then there's 100 milligrams of progesterone, but I take that sort of intermittently.
Okay. What are some of the worst side effects that you've experienced, and do you feel that these side effects have had an effect on your decision to transition?
Probably the worst side effect is misogyny. You know, I've been getting a lot. But I'm kind of kidding. But like,
No, I hear you.
yeah,
What you're
yeah,
saying is the serious part of that is the trans misogyny, or sorry,
yeah.
do you just mean regular misogyny? Because like, you know,
Well, like, I don't know. I was like sexually assaulted, and that really
my
sucks.
goodness.
Really count as a regular side effect. This is kind of a dark. It's kind of a dark joke. It's not. It's not fun. It wasn't fun. But
Absolutely.
yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, I've been assaulted as well. I jest about it now and then.
All
So,
right.
you know, it wasn't anything serious. I got kissed by some weirdo gay guy at a bar. He was like this tall, and he just decided after I was done making out with my wife, he just decided it was time to kiss me. So, you know, that was very odd for me. But I know that's
I'm
not
so
that serious, but you know, it happens. I mean, it can happen to anybody. So I feel like the more comfortable we are talking about it, the better. So good for you for being comfortable coming out with it. So let's see. Have you ever at any point felt like you regretted transitioning?
No, not really. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever? I mean, I do. How many friends do you have online or otherwise who are also trans?
Um, I think I have. I probably. I don't. Okay, so in the past couple months, I've met some trans women because of all this. Because people like DMing me, like, "Do you want to hang out?" I'm like, "Sure." But before that, I knew a trans man and I knew a non-binary person, but I didn't know many trans women just because I'm kind of. I don't know. I'm just in different circles. Like, I'm kind of in boring people circles, I guess. I don't know. I
That's
hang
fine.
out. I hang out with some boring people. Actually, I'm not gonna. They're not boring. I love my friends,
No,
but they're. I don't know. They're different circles for
that's
sure.
fine. I watch anime. Some people find that boring. It's all good.
Anime ain't boring. It's like it kind of feels like Japanese Well, it is Japanese cartoons. Anyway, sorry, that wasn't really an observation.
No, it's fine. I was about to say we're about to get into a dangerous rabbit hole here. I know you talked to Neko Suris as well. Me and him were just talking the other night, and we were trying to react to some Ben Shapiro. We ended up getting into like an hour and a half long discussion about Dragon Ball Z. So that was fun.
That's great.
It was great. It was a very
Okay,
good time. Sorry,
and
you
Dragon
cut out a
Ball
little
Z
bit.
capitalism count.
Sorry,
Okay,
you cut out a
folks.
little bit. Can you start that
trying to-
over? I'm sorry.
I was doing Ben Shapiro. It's
You were
not
doing a
important.
you were doing a Ben Shapiro impression. You're cutting off a little bit.
Can you hear me? I was just doing the thing that was cut out. It was like a really shitty Ben Shapiro impression, so it's not even worth listening to.
Well,
It was probably divine.
you cut out again, but I got you. It was divine intervention.
Cut out.
You're a little bit frozen right now. Are you getting a good connection?
I think I'm gonna go downstairs.
Okay. Where's your, if I may ask, where's your Wi-Fi router located?
It's in the basement, so I'm on like the
Ooh.
top floor. So this is probably not a good.
Ooh, you gotta put that shit on the top floor.
Yeah, we do, but our PC's in the basement, which also doesn't make sense because our basement floods all the time, and it's like a continuous problem of like we need to move the PC. And we've survived so far, but yeah, okay. I'm trying to find like a like
You're,
because the
sl- you're
walls here are
steadily
like orange.
you're steadily getting better.
Okay, the walls here are like orange and ugly, but this one's yellow. I don't know if I wanna. I'm trying to figure. Okay, we're gonna be in front of
Uh-oh.
an ugly yellow wall or ugly orange wall. Okay,
That's not ugly.
is it better? Well, I don't know. I don't like the color.
Okay,
But
personal preference. I think it's quite nice, but that's just
you
me.
think it's cool? Maybe it is cool. We have a pinball. We have a Playboy.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I don't let my opinion influence yours. Like I like it, but if you don't, you should change it.
Well, it's not my. It's my parents' house. I can't really. And
Mm.
what it is the room, but it's like I feel like it's kind like the orange is kind of aggressive. Maybe I'm
Mhm.
being nitpicky. Maybe I'm probably being nitpicky.
You should. It's your surroundings that you should be nitpicky. You know.
Yeah.
I remember back when I got my first apartment and I just had like stark white walls for like a year because I was like a 20-year-old dude bro who just like was trying to get through my degree. So, you know, it's not a healthy way to live. So,
I've been seeing
go ahead.
people at the dorm like crazy decorated apartments these days, where it's like I'm like impressed, and I'm like the thing is, what's impressive about college decoration is like the people are gonna move in a year. So you can't really even like put that much effort into it because it feels like, oh, I'm gonna move in a fucking year. I'm so tired of this.
Yeah, I mean, me and Katie, my wife, we do want to move at some point to a bigger house because we're like, our house is so small. It's 2 stories, but like all the rooms are so small. Except this is like the biggest room, and it's not that big. So we just stack stuff all along the walls for storage, and like. But I've been decorating it anyway. I feel like that's just a very important part of like your living space, regardless of how long you're going to be there. Maybe if you're only going to be in a week-long situation or something, but if you're going to be there for a few months, you should at least put something up, in my opinion. That's just me.
Yeah. I yeah. Yeah, I gotta be better. I feel like, yeah, college gets so crazy busy, man. I'm like, it's so nuts.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm getting my practitioner license soon, so I got to go back to clinicals for that. So
Oh, like a doctor?
yeah, I'll be able to prescribe druggos and such. It'll be pretty cool.
Oh, cool. So you're gonna be a dealer, but legal.
Pretty much. I mean, like I thought about getting into transitioning care, so that I can, because I'm not going to be somebody who's going to be stifled by these fucking laws. Like, if you want to send my ass to prison, then fine. But I'm not going to abide by, it's just a thought that I've had. I actually haven't told my audience yet. This is the first I'm saying it. But, it's something I've thought a lot about. I have a lot of trans friends and trans audience members, and I just, it sucks, it really sucks what's going on. So, I'm not going to play by their fucking rules. Like, if they don't like what the science says, then they're just cavemen who happen to have power over me. And that's shitty, but it is what it is. Anyway.
Yeah, thank you for us.
I appreciate it. Like I said, though, this is not about me. So let's get back to, I'd like to ask, if you don't mind, you mentioned that your parents wouldn't let you transition till you were 18. You're still living with them. So how is your What's that?
Only in the summers and stuff
Only in
like
the summers.
that.
Gotcha. May I ask how your relationship is with them now?
I love them and I forgive them.
Good.
We've done eye to eye on everything, and obviously, being trans isn't like something to like see eye to eye on, or like oh, we have a disagreement. It's not what that is, but they've been getting better, and I've shown them a lot of grace. And like my relationship with my family actually has been getting better, and I'm really happy about it, because there was a time where I was like, oh man, this is not good, because it really wasn't good for a time. It was really, really hostile. But you can work on a lot of stuff. Not every relationship can be repaired, but even some ones that were not the best sometimes can be repaired, and they can be very wonderful.
You're right. I feel the same about my parents. It's funny because I used to, it's kind of switched. I used to have a worse relationship with my mom and a better one with my dad. But my dad is just like, so my mom's kind of dropped the politics. Like, she has her opinion. She doesn't bring them up a lot, whatever. She's trying to convince me not to get the fucking COVID vaccine for my clinicals, but okay, mom, gotcha. So that's like the worst she does. But now my dad is like just, he's insufferable sometimes, man. Like, I love the man. I told him on Father's Day that I know that, like, despite our disagreements politically, that you would always put us first. It is possible to still have those good relationships, even though, like, with people that are meaningful to you, even if they have lead poisoned opinions, quite frankly. It's difficult sometimes, but that's good to hear. It's very good to hear.
Yeah, you gotta put all those disagreements aside and just sit at the dinner table. Yeah. Exactly.
So, let's see. What else can I ask you about? And if you think of anything, feel free to just say it.
By the way, I never asked him a question like earlier about like what I like to do, and I like to type on a typewriter, like Eucharist and stuff like that. And I'm a computer science major. I like to play with technology, and I don't know. I just like to learn. I'm like, anthropology is super interesting, like cultural anthropology. Like, I actually did this new idea for a book, because there's this old book I'm writing. I might stop because I'm like 300 pages in, but there's a lot of problems with that, and I didn't really organize the pages, and it's like all on typewriter, so it's like so fucking annoying. And I actually been meaning to start this new book. You know how there's like one narrator in a book, right?
Yes, usually.
Imagine if there was like 200 narrators, and it was like a small Italian village, and it was a day in the life of every character, like every person in the village. And it was like one page. They each get like a page or two, right? And some people get like 5 pages or whatever. but it's like it narrates their whole lives and like they're like a day in their whole life, and they're like pass cross and they like talk to each other, and it's like the plot slowly unfolds through all these different characters interacting with each other.
Okay. Somebody said, so it's basically an anthology.
So I don't know what that is. I'm kind of dumb. What's an
It is
anthology?
I had to look it up too. Don't feel bad. It's a collection of literary works chosen by the compiler. Maybe a collection of plays, poems, short stories, songs, or related fiction or nonfiction excerpts by different authors. So
I don't know. True. Because it
would it
would
be?
just be,
Go ahead.
it would be like the reverse of a Bildungsroman or a Roman Flueve, and that it would be like instead of like it would be like compiled. It would just be like you get snippets of people's stories. You don't get people's full stories. So you
Mhm.
get a day. You get a day in life and all these different people. Sort of like yeah, just like a day in life and all these different characters, and then all the characters' lives like intertwine, and there's like a greater plot that sort of gets revealed through just a day in life in one character. So you wouldn't know what's going on with one character, but all these different parts and components come together.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's an interesting idea. I'm sure somebody's done something like that before, but I haven't seen it in any popular works. So that would absolutely be interesting. Do you have like anything that you'd like to show as far as your literary works go? Like, do you have anything written or?
Oh, I have like I could show you like I could show like the hook. I don't know. I don't know if I want to show it to the audience. Yeah.
That is
Let me
completely
see.
up to you. Completely up to you.
Okay. It's like
We would love a first inside look, but if not, don't feel pressure.
from the previous story, but I'm really proud of it. Let's see.
Okay.
This was like written like years ago though, so we're gonna.
Feel free sharing
Oh,
whatever you're comfortable with. I'm sure it's great.
see, I feel weird because it's good. People told me it was good, but it was
I am nothing if not honest.
okay.
I have no reason to
Um.
lie.
Okay. Okay. How do I share it? I have the Google Doc.
You can flip the screen and just show us, or you can send me a link to the Google Doc as long as it's got. You have to enable sharing for anybody with a link, but either
Okay.
one.
Okay. Let me figure out. Wait, that's not how you do that. Okay. Sorry, I'm like, wait, how do you, wait, okay,
Take your time.
okay. Share my
I'm
screen. Okay.
in, I'm in no hurry.
Okay.
There we go. Oh yeah, screen share works too.
Is it working? Can you see it?
Yes, for some reason my feed is covering it though. Oh, because that's on your screen. Got it.
Okay. Should I read it? I don't know if I should. I don't know. Do you guys want me to read it? What is the chat saying? How many people are in the chat? What are they saying?
Oh yeah, I forgot to say. Yeah, Nyara VT rated, if you know who she is. And so we got how many people watching? We got 37 on YouTube, 40 on Twitch. And then we got people saying, Marcy, you're a real hero. Thank you for your courage.
Wow.
Let's see. On my site, we got. Not gonna lie, I agree with her that orange is mad shit.
Bro.
Let's see. Are you a jaywalker though? Because that was in reference to when I asked you if you're a criminal. Everyone has to be political. Politics decide whether you live or die. Bathroom police. She's really
I
pretty.
don't know.
OMG.
Wait, what did they say? I was really pretty.
Moody Mooney says she's really pretty. OMG.
That's super cool. So
That's radical.
okay,
Thank you so much.
I am a jaywalker. I have a problem with the jaywalking, but that's the thing. We call it Chicago walk. I call it Chicago walking because people jaywalk in Chicago all the time to the point where it's like we've become socially maladjusted. Where I go in other like towns and shit, and like I jaywalk in my college town, and like people like pull me aside, like people I'm walking with. They're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But like I'm just used to like I can walk across the street. The cars will stop for me. They have liability or whatever.
Technically, they're supposed to. Like, you have right of way. So if they
Yeah.
hit you, that's on them. Unless you jump in front of them. Like, but, you know, and I don't think you would do that. So,
No, I would not.
as
Should I
far as
read that?
reading, What'd you say?
Wait, sorry, continue.
I was going to say, as far as reading this, I'm more than happy to do it in your stead, or you can read it, or we can ask the chat what they'd prefer. But if I had to guess, they'd probably like you to read it.
Okay. Bang. Get down. Mark saw the masked gunman as he loaded his gun with the next bullet. I was in shock. I couldn't move. I was just frozen as I stared at the man possessing the single thing that could move me from this world to the next. The bullet that could split my head down the middle and split the universe in half, freezing everything in my memory, just as it was, stopped. We don't exist for long. We come in halfway through the show and leave before we can understand the plot. When people die, you're not sad for the pain that they go through. You're sad that they don't get to see what happens next. When I think of someone I know and care about who died, I think about what they missed and wonder what they would have thought if they were alive today. Sure, they may be in heaven, but it doesn't mean you get to talk to them. It's like if they didn't get to see how the story would end or what would happen next. They're just gone. You'll never be able to interact with them again. I thought about the gun that he held in his hand, the refined shape that could rip me from this life, the gun that just might kill me. I was a fool. I didn't act, but Mark did. Mark threw the papers in his hand to the ground as he dropped the same. I feel weird reading this. I'll be weird. I'll be real. His strong arms grabbed me by the stomach and pushed me all to the ground all in one motion. He tackled me and we tumbled over. We laid crouched behind the massive tipped-over lectern where I usually made my speeches. Everything seemed to move in slow motion. People screamed in complete apprehension. The gunman fired another shot and hit Sarsaparilla in the chest, and blood poured out like Cooley. It gushed and rushed and flushed, and her flesh fell like, this is a tongue twister, like fish meat in big chunks from her open wound. I jerked something loose from me, and I took Mark's gun from his hand and got out from behind the lectern. I didn't get out completely from behind it, but I peeked over it in a crouch and gradually stood up more and more and walked forward a bit. He was supposed to be shooting the assassin, but he wasn't. He did his job as my head guard and a great friend. He saved me, but he just looked confused and almost impotent with the gun in his hand, like he was unaware of how to use it. He had no hesitation. Apparently so shocked by the outgoing situation, they didn't resist my grabbing it. Maybe that's why he didn't fire it, or maybe he didn't see the gunman. My whole world seemed to focus around the gunman now. It was like my soul zoomed in on him. I couldn't see him anymore, but I somehow knew where he was. I could feel it. I could feel the crowd surrounding him. They didn't realize he did it. They didn't see him do it. They pointed the gun at him. I pointed the gun at him. People screamed like I was a monster. He was behind people right then, so I couldn't shoot. I could feel him cocking the gun. I could almost hear it from where I was, which doesn't even seem possible. I raised my arm and pointed the gun right over his head because I knew I couldn't hit him without hitting any civilians. I shot a warning shot above his head as if to say, "Hey, I see you." He was shocked. His face was shocked. I couldn't see it. No, I couldn't. There were people between us, but I still knew exactly where every part of his face was and exactly what it looked like. Shocked. The scene that was once so my writing has changed a lot since then, so I feel cringe reading this. The scene that
You're
was
doing
once
great.
so
This is fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And peaceful and calm and orderly, it was now falling like dominoes. 10 seconds ago, I was speaking to the crowd. 10 seconds ago, I was speaking to the crowd about diplomatic solutions to economic tensions between geopolitical empires, but now I was frozen on the ground. She's like a princess and a diplomat. That's her job. 10 seconds seem like a ghost.
Hold on 1 second. I appreciate the context, but does that, like, I was enjoying like the build up to what this was because I wasn't sure what she was doing, like what this was all about.
I'm sorry.
Yet. No, it's okay. It's okay. If you feel the need for me to know that, though, I mean, I just feel like I don't need to know that yet. Like, she's a politician of some kind. I've gathered. She has a bodyguard. She has a lectern that she gives speeches on. She was tackled. Mm-hmm. So, but that's totally up to you. Like, if you want to reveal later that she's a princess or do it immediately, I was having a good time enjoying the ride.
10 seconds ago seemed like another world, another place completely separate from this one. It still seemed like home. It still seemed like Daffodilia. It felt like I was just talking about easing trade restrictions between Daffodilia and Bella Innocente, talking about how we shared a planet, but it felt like we were in different worlds. But now I was here in a different moment, watching my assassin. I couldn't see his skin, his bones, or whatever color everything was, but I could sense the outline and knew exactly where it started and where it ended. He looked straight at me. I could sense his fear. He was running right now. I was standing on the stage, indecisive what to do and pacing back and forth. I decided to sit on the end of the stage that I was standing on to see if I could spot him. My pretty red and green dress spilled off the stage as I sat on it with my feet dangling over. I could hear the chopping of the feet and the start of the end of this heartbeat. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. I jumped off the stage and chased after him. Sure, they would say that jumping off the stage to chase a gunman who just shot your friend isn't ladylike or befitting of a princess, but who cares? He shot my best friend. Totally different. People around me screamed, but got out of my way. He looked at me like I was crazy. I guess the only thing I could do was I guess he thought the only thing I could do was talk in rare interplanetary summits about why the two kingdoms that controlled the planet were planet-political and geopolitical isolationists. I guess he thought that the girl who talked about terrorists all day and tribalism between the two empires couldn't fight back. He was wrong. I held Mark's gun up every so often, almost like it was a dog that had the scent of the gunman and was looking for him. I pointed the gun up and shot into the air a few times to scare him. I could feel his heartbeat quickening. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. He did not want to get caught. He was definitely afraid. Ba-bum, ba-bum.
Could I stop for just a second? It feels, I just want to insert some commentary because it feels like, this is my, React streamer blood coming out. But it feels like she's kind of enjoying the chase a little bit. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's bloodlusted.
Well, it's not even that. She's very sheltered. And so it is bloodlust, I guess, I think
but it was a very good gradual ramp up to this point.
You think so?
I do. No, it's very natural. It's like we're inside of her head watching all of this occur and feeling and thinking the same things that she is. And it's a lot, it's a mouthful, like just like spewing thoughts over and over and over, but like it fits what's happening. It's very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Keep going. Sorry.
No, you're great. I could feel the adrenaline coursing through my veins and mixing with the blood and estrogen and proteins and all the other stuff it's supposed to mix with. The anger turned up in me. I ran harder. He ran scarederer. That's not a word. I gotta fix that. I ran angrier. He ran outside. I ran outside with him in the rain. I chased him. My footsteps like Eligarial feet. Sorry, that's like a made-up animal I made. I pounded on the ground, stomping after his muddy boots, gun in hand. He was not going to get away with this. The rain sloshed against my striped maroon pumps as I got closer and closer to him. Street vendors jumped out of our ways. Passerby stood in amazement of the chase. It wasn't the princess's guard chasing the assassin. It was the princess herself. Eventually, the open space gave way to buildings and structures, and then the Uruguay. The Uruguay are these tiny little roads that get smaller and smaller as you get farther away from the palace until they just stop at a certain point. The roads are walled in with huge green and purple bricks, with little doors to different shops and places. If he kept going to the Uruguay, I'd have him for sure. I screamed, stop, but he kept going. I was gaining on him.
Just a comment. I would suggest for that paragraph, I would just say the Uruguay and just leave it sitting. We don't know what it is. I would say leave it sitting. We don't know what it is yet, but if he's headed there, we're about to see it. So you can just describe it as you're passing by.
That's smart. I think I will do that.
Cool.
This is this is 3 years old. This is really old. I can show you some of my newer. I could maybe show stream my typewriter.
If you don't consider this good, your new stuff must be legendary because I feel like this is fantastic with some workshopping. Honestly, if you want, I can give you my wife's contact. She's an English teacher and she's also a fanfic writer. So she would dig her teeth straight into this and work with you on it and give you critique on it. She would love this. But we can talk about that after if you'd like.
Well, we can talk about that after.
Yeah, of course. Sorry.
Would you guys want to see my typewriter? Because I have a bunch of different typewriters because
sure.
They keep dying. Yeah, I'll show after I read this. I think I'm almost done-ish.
No
I was
worries.
gaining on him. As you got farther and farther away from the palace, the smells got worse and worse. It smelled like a rotten yet crisply cooked meat. The sky was a dark blue and the crowds stormed down further. Why was he trying to kill me? What was his end game? There was panic on the streets. People ran in every way, which way and direction. Almost all of them stopped to gawk at me. The little princess who never left her room. The little princess who never left the castle. That little princess was now sprinting outside here, in the pouring rain with her dress caked in mud and her security guards wheezing, barely keeping up with this little girl. The road's quality went down the further I chased him. We were both exhausted now, wheezing uncontrollably. There hadn't been an assassination attempt in 100 years. Why now? I can make out his figure far more clearly now. He was tall but slim. Strong but not stocky. The annual Prandium, whose closest equivalent would be a harvest festival on Earth, had just ended and the streets were still cluttered with decorations from the parade. Streamers
Interesting that she's... I'm so sorry. You can tell me to stop interrupting you very rudely, but it's interesting, though, that she's now, taking this guy's figure in, it's settled a little bit, what's happened. you know, she's still on the run, like she's still pumping, but like she's now like observing, you know, trying to take it in. It's good. It's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Streamers filled the gutters and choked the water out of them. Giant fake decorative stars scattered all across the ground. There were more food vendors than ever after just coming off their busiest season. The assassin grabbed one of the vendor's carts, which was still very hot from cooking, and tipped it over behind him and kept running. The cart caught fire and burned an intimate and strong flame right in front of me. I jumped over the flaming cart and didn't stick the landing. I bruised my leg badly and twisted it the wrong way too. Security was still far behind me. Gosh, they're incompetent. I picked myself up and hobbled along. The road has to end sometime. If it's not now, it's soon. My right pump got caught in the decorations and I tripped and fell again, skinning my knee further and kicking it with a tiny layer of blood. The blood mixed with the mud and made an ugly splotch in my pretty dress, which was now partially ripped and shredded at the bottom and not really so pretty anymore. I picked myself up once more and quickened my pace as much as I could, which wasn't much. I had probably been running for quartets of breath. I knew I was getting far when the walls turned from green and pink to brown and black, and the ground turned from a bright silver to a dullish gray. The whole alley was abandoned, yet it seemed to smell like sweat even more than the crowded areas. The road was getting smaller and smaller, and the walls closer and closer, and I grew closer and closer to the assassin as well, until all of a sudden he turned back towards me and unsheathed the knife from his bag. I stopped. He stared at me. He looked at me as he was going to stab me. Why would he stab me, I wondered. He has a gun in his pocket in which he could kill me much more easily. Stay back, I said and pointed Mark's gun at him. He held his knife up and stared at me. Then one swift movement used the knife to slit his throat.
Wow. That had everything. That was excellent. I'm getting Princess Leia from that a little bit. It's very good. Are you inspired by like Star Wars or anything?
I'm a big fan of Star Wars, yeah.
I could tell. It's good.
It's good, right?
No, absolutely. It's very good. And like I said, if that's like from 3 years ago and you've improved since then, I mean, you're cruising. You're doing just fine. But yeah, like I said, first of all, like, do you have anywhere that you share these that you'd like to talk about, or anywhere that you're going to?
No, maybe I should. Maybe I should, like, wouldn't it be cool if I like posted? Because I have an Instagram and a TikTok and a Twitter, and they each have like 7,000 to 8,000 followers. And once my case is over, I don't really know what to do with that. Maybe I could talk about typewriting. I feel like that would be fun. Maybe, I don't know.
Absolutely. Like you said, you're not a political person, okay, and nor should you be. You can if you want. Like, if you'd like to use this to transition into a fine political career, you could. You could absolutely milk this. And what'd you say?
Reverse Riley Gaines. I'm using one moment to launch a political career.
You could, absolutely. But you don't strike me as that type. You strike me as the creative literary type, and I would milk any fame that you're getting off of this and turn it into a political career, because one thing that people underestimate is the power of just living your life as a minority, right? Just like being a good writer as a trans woman. You know, that is so powerful. And that way, like, people can see, like, oh yeah, she's trans, but she's not like a quote unquote trans activist. You know, she's just normal. She's just a writer. She's just chasing her passions. So I would absolutely recommend like transforming this publicity into something that fits you. Because you're very good at what you do. Thank
you. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I hope I've been managing like my sort of, I don't know. I don't want to say fame because I don't know if I'm famous or whatever. I feel like that's sort of, I feel like it would be sort of unhumble of me to say or whatever, but
I would say you're in the 90th percentile of fame.
Oh, cool.
Just because you've been in the news and most people have not, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm one of the few people online who's been in the news. Like, because, I don't know.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, but most people haven't. It's weird having a Wikipedia page, dude. Some of the information in there is like wildly inaccurate, by the way. And I'm like, you can't change your own Wikipedia page. And I've like, but on my Twitter, be like, someone changed my Wikipedia page, add this. And they're like, no. And they like block the Wikipedia page.
What's wrong on it? I have to get off here in a little bit, but if we could touch on that, because that's relevant.
Like, I mean, I think some of it's been fixed. I don't even check it anymore, but like...
You shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of neurotic to. I mean, there was a time where I was like, oh my gosh, I just kept searching Instagram and Twitter for like new posts about Marcy Rheintgen, and
Yeah.
occasionally I do that because I like find stuff where like I remember sending to my friends, and this is like hella narcissistic of me, but I would like send to my friends a tweet I found like saying Marcy Rheintgen is really really conventionally pretty, and I'm like,
I
but
mean, you know, they're not wrong. You clearly take good care of yourself and your appearance, and that's good. So, you know, absolutely. I mean, uh, you know, and yeah, as long as you like how you look as well, which you know, I hope you do. That's
I
all that
do.
matters. So, you know, you're cooking. You're doing great.
If I have I might use it for I don't know what I'm going to use it for because I might have extra money for my gifts and go. I might use it for surgeries or I might do more activism just because on like on this particular issue because no one's really doing IRL trans activism now. Like a lot of it's
Really?
online
Yeah.
and I feel like people's versions of protests right now are just so ineffective. Like they're not actually like I don't know if you've ever read Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals.
No.
I actually have it right here. It's a really good book.
Okay.
But Solinsky was this he was this great man from Chicago who studied the mob and
Hmm.
he used that to learn about political organizing. And it's super interesting. Like he trained both Obama and Hillary Clinton.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's one of the forgotten geniuses of the 20th century. But I feel like he would have a lot to say about how our protests today don't really have any real end goals. It's just people with a sign being like, I'm mad. And when a protest becomes part of the system, then it ceased to become a protest. Like you would talk about this with sit-ins. He stopped doing sit-ins when and switched to other methods of protest when he would go to protest like an auto mechanic place because he was like they weren't hiring black people or something. And
Yep.
he went there and they were like, we have a sit-in room now, so you guys can't really even do anything. Here's our stay in our sit-in room.
Here's your designated area where you can disrupt the status quo. Like, okay, thanks, status quo. Got it.
These days feel like. So
Yeah.
Saul Alinsky got really innovative. Like he had some freaking genius ideas. Like what he so there was this CEO that wouldn't hire black people. I know I talked this is a different case than the previous case. And so what
You're
he
fine.
would do, he bussed 100 people. No, he bussed 500 African Americans holding watermelons because the CEO made a comment that black people were watermelon munchers. And so he sent 500 African Americans holding watermelons to the guy's store to just sit in there. And that was an effective protest because the guy started hiring black people after that.
That's awesome. I love that. But that's what you're right. That's what protest is supposed to be. I think that it's better than people not caring at all, you know,
Yeah.
but at the same time it's like, you know, even liberals who go out to protests are like, well, you know, we need to have limits and we can't do this and we have to, you know, scold the rioters. We have to make sure that we're not looting and such, which you shouldn't. But like, if you focus your rhetoric on that, you're allowing the other side to dominate the narrative, and that's stupid. You got to be like, yeah, there's rioters and there's looters and there's people who are doing inappropriate things, and that's bad. But that's not what's important here. What's important is that my 11-year-old trans daughter can't get on fucking puberty blockers, and she's growing a beard, and she fucking hates that, and I'm disgusted by you people. Like, she is depressed and doesn't want to do anything, and I want to make sure you fucking know it. So fuck the looters. Yeah, whatever. There's looters. It's bad. But, like, no, sorry. I'm going to do whatever I can for my trans daughter. And that's not me. I don't have kids yet.
I know you're
but
hypothetical.
Yeah, exactly. So it's about the focus. It's about the focus. And you're right. There is a lack of focus sometimes, and we need to fix that. So if you would like to be one of the leading voices for that, I think you do a wonderful job.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you're the way that you're presenting here. You seem a little bit nervous, but it seems like you've largely gotten over it. So yeah.
I was supposed to. I've never like read out to like I don't know. You added it up. There's probably like 70, 80 people. I've never read out.
Reading your personal works is nerve-wracking. Yeah. If it makes you feel any better, I could show off some of the things I've crocheted for you recently. I haven't done that for my chat yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, hold on. Let me do
I'm a
this.
political figure, though. Do you think I have what it takes? Do you think I could become a political figure, though?
That is entirely up to you.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants to can. If you have the drive for it, go for it. And you can certainly do that while still writing. You can do both. I think that you have enough attention on you now that you would get a lot of groups taking an interest in you and promoting you and making you a figurehead. Like you've kind of hit the jackpot here with this story. I know that I don't want to make it out like this is a good thing that happened to you, but
Yeah.
clearly you shouldn't have been arrested. But the fact is
Yeah.
you can make lemonade out of lemons here. Like why
Yeah.
not? Yeah, of course. Like if you have the drive, go for it. But don't feel obligated either. It's totally up to you. Anyway,
Yeah. Your
are
crochet.
Are you a fan? This is my most recent work. I was working on it all day yesterday, but now that I figured out how to do it, I could probably pump these bad boys out quickly. Have you ever heard of the game Repo?
Repo. I don't know if I have. I don't play a lot of video.
Okay, that's fine. It's just I don't really either anymore, but it's just a really popular game now, and you play as little robots that look like this guy.
Oh, whoa.
So, yeah, I
looks
gave him a
cool.
movable mouth here.
That's so neat, dude.
Yep, and then he's got posable limbs as well.
My brother would probably know what that is and think it's the coolest shit ever.
Yep,
I
so
think
I
it's
just got a few more details to add to this bad boy, but he's going to be on my store pretty soon. I'm assuming you're at least familiar with the... Go ahead.
on merch. Is that your merch? Do you make your own merch?
I don't make merch per se. I used to, but I just started with keychains. But like I enjoy making stuff that I like. Repo is. I just thought the characters were cute. I don't really play it, but I'm a big Pokemon boy. So I've been making Pokeballs. So this is a rainbow ball that I just crocheted, and these are on my store. The rainbow ones aren't yet, but they will be. So got a bunch of those.
Cool.
Thank you. And then I'll show you one more because I got to hop off in a second. Here, I'll
Yeah.
show the better Whooper. Are you familiar with the Whooper Pokemon?
Oh, yes, I am. Wow,
Yeah.
that's like super. That's super
Thank
cool
you.
that you can just do that with crochet.
Yeah, he's got a posable tail.
Crochet's definitely coming back with the younger generation. I've been seeing so many people crochet lately.
It's so fun. I love it. Also, I've been informed that there are... I feel like I knew this, but I forgot. There are two different forms of Whoopers. So I've been making boys, like males. So the females actually have different gill... I think they're called gill stalks. They're shaped differently. So I need to make some Whooper queens as well.
Cool.
So anyway, there you go. That's my form of art, and yours is literature, and they're both beautiful, and we should embrace them.
Yeah, I love literature.
All right, so I do have to hop off of here. Is there anything else that you would like to shill, add, any messages you want to get out there?
Follow my Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter at Marcy Rheintgen, MarcyRheintgen. That is MarcyRheintgen. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just send people to your Instagram for right now. I think that's the one you mentioned first. So yeah, go follow Marcy. She's a very talented woman. She was treated very unfairly, and she is a bit of an icon right now. So, go show her your love and support. And thank you so much for coming on today and for sharing everything that you did. I know some of it was personal. It means a lot. And I know that people are very happy that there are people like you who are actually taking steps to show how ridiculous this administration is, and what they're doing is just weird and stupid and oftentimes barbaric. So
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. Guess I'm gonna skedaddle out of here. I hope you have a great day. Yeah. God bless.
you as well. Take care. Beautiful. What a lovely person. All right, so I just told Remnant that I will need just a couple of extra minutes. I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, we will be talking with our boy Remnant777. I suppose it'll be about my rhetoric and issues that he has with it. I am nothing if not a person that is open to discussion and to changing my opinions. So we'll see what he has to say. Be right back. All right, I have returned. I am ready to go. Actually, I need to do something real quick, but then I'll be ready. I would like to inform you all. I know that recently I've said that I have stopped, or at least very much cut back on my alcohol consumption, which is true, I have, and I've done a very good job. I would like to be transparent with you and tell you that I have grabbed myself an alcoholic beverage. I feel that I will probably need it for this discussion. And I think that as long as I'm being transparent about my current state of mind, you guys are more than welcome and expected to hold me accountable for the consumption of such things. Boo? Sorry. I think it's a good night for it. I'm not going to be getting trashed during the debate or anything. I told him I'd call him in about 1 minute. So for those, just to... I think all is fine in moderation. Absolutely. The problem before is that I was doing it basically every stream. Is that armature wire in the tail? It is technically garden wire, which works very well. It pokes out a little bit sometimes, but I think I've embedded it enough into the filling that it will not poke out anymore. If it does start to poke out, all you got to do is kind of work it back in and massage it a little bit, and it'll be fine. Looks like a PP. Did you think that when you were playing this game as a fresh 8-year-old? Oh no, sorry, you're probably younger than that. If you played Gen 2 at all, it was Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and you were probably like 5. I don't know. Okay, I just have one thing I need to pull up real quick, and then we'll get started. All right, the recording has begun. We are about to call Remnant 777 to, I guess, talk about my rhetoric as of late and some comments that he has about it. Let's see how this goes.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you just fine. I will turn you down a little bit for chat. Chat, just let me know if the volume is good for both of us, and if not, just feel free to say something. So,
Let me just hit record. How you been doing?
I'm okay.
That's
How have
good.
you been?
I've been doing swell. Cannot complain. So,
Cool.
I just thought of one thing. This actually might be useful to you. You haven't really, at least I've seen, posted any of like the videos that you recorded on the live stream. So, if you want, we could like recap and everything on what's basically led up to this point. Would you like that?
I mean, we can recap a little bit if you want. I found one of your videos last year. I disagreed with some of your takes about, I guess, research on gay people and where it comes from. You responded to that, telling me why I'm wrong and whatever, and then I reached out to you for a discussion. I actually wanted to ask you, you did decline my first invitation, so I was curious as to the reason that you changed your mind.
Yeah, because with that video, there were just like so many things I wanted to tackle one at a time and everything. It was like I think it was like a year ago and everything. But there were just so many things that I didn't like. I thought that were just, frankly, for lack of a better term, I'm not even trying to be passive aggressive or attack. I just found it stupid. Continuously, one at a time. Well, no, it's sequentially one after another and just actually address those points and everything. And it would be a lot neater if it was in one video. And I just wanted to clear it up that way. And afterward, I thought that a lot of the things that were going on, I get bad faith vibes from you and everything, and I didn't want to do it then. But right now, I think it's just, you said that I misrepresented you and what you believed and everything. And I thought it'd be best to go over that, even if I don't believe it's going to be entirely good faith or whatever it might be. We're just going to try and figure out what each side wants or believes in everything and just go through that. That's what I was thinking.
I got you. Give me just a second. I'm sorry. My stream seems to be fucking up a bit.
No, it's all good.
It's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming.
I don't know anything about streaming. Never streamed in my life.
Ah, I see. Yeah, I guess it's poo-pooing a little bit right now. Give me just a second. I apologize.
No, it's all good. Oh, by the way, I can like use the stream and everything on my channel and like post on mine, right? I'm not gonna like edit it or like just do clip chimping or whatever it is. Like I might give like a little bit of a intro saying like, oh, we finally got to it or whatever, but like I would keep the debate in its entirety and everything like that. The most I might actually edit is like music, but nothing.
Okay, we are restarting. Okay, it looks like we got the green light. Chat, how are we doing? Looks good. Looks good. We good? Okay, you guys didn't miss anything. I think we caught it pretty early, which is good. I'd hate to catch it in the middle of a discussion. So, yeah, what were we talking about? I apologize.
No, it's fine. So basically, you claimed that in my last two videos, or no, it was the last video I made about you.
I hate to interrupt. Would you like to be on camera?
Me be on camera? No, I wouldn't want to be on camera. But
Okay.
I mean, you can show
I
my
understand.
icon.
It's a little bit nerve-wracking, so no worries.
No, I just don't want anybody to see my face or like know anything about me. I enjoy
Gotcha.
being anonymous, you know. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
Okay, no worries.
yeah, so you just claimed that before I misrepresented you in my video where I made a video about you. And I just wanted to go through those things. I actually looked into it a bit more, and I think I'm not actually going to take back anything I said. I really think that looking into these things more and more, paying attention to what you said, I really think that I'm just going to double down on everything I said in the video, frankly. And we can go through that stuff if you want to.
I think I've got a decent summary. You think that my rhetoric is violent. You think that it is going to lead to, I suppose, some kind of stochastic terrorism or something, people acting out in real life, hurting people, lead to real world violence. Is that about the gist of it?
Yeah, well, I think that's one part of it, yeah, and I think it's harmful, and I don't think you would appreciate us doing anything similar to that, right?
You're right, I don't. But let's just talk about your rhetoric a little bit because, you've pointed out that mine's violent. We've already got a whole video from you. Let's talk about the videos on your channel. I've noticed that a lot of them are about
we can,
women.
but we're not going to just make it.
Well, I'd like to.
Like,
So
we're not
let's just
gonna
pull up your
spoil-
channel real
No,
quick.
wait,
I'd like
wait,
to
wait.
screen share as well, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we can, but this is about the videos that were made and everything, and talking about.
Right, it's about
you
my
claimed
rhetoric
that I
and-
misrepresented you. Say what?
It's about my so it's about my rhetoric. You feel that I'm being
can do both.
irresponsible.
We can do
so
both.
let's
Fair.
so I figured you're a better example of responsible rhetoric, right?
Wait, what? Could you repeat that? Let me turn up the
You are
volume.
an example of better responsible rhetoric that does not lead to violence. Is that correct?
I would claim that my rhetoric is much better, yeah.
Okay, great. So let's take a look at your channel. So we've got here, I'll screen share with you. We've got a lot of videos about women and girls. Just out of curiosity, have you ever had a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have one now?
No.
No? Okay. What happened to your last relationship? Did it, just a
it's frankly
disagreement?
none of
or-
your business.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to pry. No worries. Okay, so let's take a look at one of these videos that kind of stuck out to me personally. Was what actually counts as rape. So I took a little bit of a look at this, and I noticed here. Let me shrink my camera feed a little bit for the chat peoples. I noticed some things about it. So I just wanted to ask you a quick question, a scenario, if you will. Let's say a woman is receiving death threats if she refuses sex with her boyfriend. Do you consider this rape?
I consider that a horrible. I don't know if I consider it rape. It's a horrible, vile thing.
You don't consider that
but
rape. So if I say, if you don't have sex with me right now, I'm going to kill you. That's not rape?
If you can physically overpower me and force me and It is
That's not
through
what I said.
force. Yeah.
I said I'm going to kill you if you do not have sex with me. Is that right? If you agree and then we have sex.
Is it so? No, I think I need a little bit more context with that. Can you
Context.
actually
I'm
yeah, can you
saying.
actually is it just something you I could say that to you right now, but it doesn't mean I raped you. If I said that to you right now,
So let's
Alec
say.
Gunter, if you don't no, if I say right now, Alec Gunter, if you
Wow.
don't have sex with me, I'm going to kill you.
So
Did I just rape you? Did I just rape you?
Let's say that a man
I just rape
confronts you. Let's say that a man
No,
confronts
just
you.
answer my question. Did I
Say,
just
repeat
rape you?
it.
You
Repeat
need
it.
more to the situation.
Sure, repeat it.
Did I just rape you by saying that?
Repeat it one more time. I apologize.
Let's say I say this right now to you in this exact situation we're having. If you don't have sex with me, I'm going to kill you, Alec Hunter. I'm not saying it actually right now, just to clarify. But hypothetically, if I said that to you right now, is that rape? Did I just
No,
rape you
but
right
if
now?
you and
See?
me.
So you just
Hold
said
on.
right now you don't.
Hold on.
You need more.
Hold
to it.
on. That was not the scenario I set up. You just changed it.
You
what
just
I'm
said
saying,
that
no,
as
what
a
I'm saying, hold
scenario,
on,
and I asked
hold
you
on,
more.
hold on. The scenario
What do you mean?
is, she decides instead of being killed, she's going to have sex with her boyfriend. Is that rape?
Does she actually think he can kill her?
Yeah.
Then yes.
Okay, great.
See, you
Was
just
that
needed to
so
get
hard,
more
man?
to it.
Why do we got to jump through all these hoops? Okay.
Because you
great.
just you were just being no, you flat out said you weren't going to elaborate anymore, and then I gave you an exact answer.
God.
What you said verbatim to me, and then you're like, no, that's not rape.
Okay,
buddy."
let's try an easier one. A woman describes a situation in which she's having intercourse with a man. She decides she wants to stop and pulls away, but the man pulls her back in and continues what he's doing. Is he raping her?
If like I guess that's yeah, that would be rape technically.
Okay, so
speaking.
my
Yeah,
question
like,
to you is, she says that in this video. She says she attempted to pull away from the man she was with. He pulled her back in and continued. Your claim in this video is that she was not raped in this scenario. Granted, I will grant you, to be completely charitable, you said that what he was doing was not good. You said that what he was doing was unhealthy for a relationship, whatever. But at no point did you acknowledge that what he did in that scenario was rape. Why is that?
Didn't she say that she was with him for months on end and that he raped her apparently for months on end? That's kind of strange. What
I'm
do you think
asking you
that,
about
Alec
this
Hunter?
one situation that she
I'm not
specifically
gonna
brought up.
Alec Gunter, I'm not going to constantly answer your questions when you don't engage with anything I say, okay? So you have to engage
I'm
with
just
something
trying.
I
No,
say
this
too.
is about your rhetoric because you are you've already made a whole
not even
video about
about
my
my
rhetoric and how
rhetoric.
violent it is.
I haven't even been
I
able to
feel
ask
the
you a
need.
real
Hold on.
question yet.
Hold
You're
on.
going on and on.
I feel the need to point
You're not
out
gonna
that
bulldoze
your
this
rhetoric here
conversation, Alec
is
Gunter.
dangerous.
You're not
Your
even
rhetoric
going
here
to
is
actually
scary. Do
engage
you
with
feel that
anything
you're
I
safe
say.
around women? If we really have to, sit
What?
here and back and forth about, well, if I threaten a girl to have sex with me at gunpoint and then she agrees, it's not like technically rape or whatever. Like, but why is the
You just said
poo-pooing? Why?
you just said it wasn't rape. You just said it wasn't rape.
No, what I said was.
Yeah, I did. I did
no,
flat out. I said the
you
exact
changed
situation
the
you
scenario.
gave.
The natural. No,
I
I
didn't
said.
change the situation.
Yes, you.
I
Okay.
didn't change it whatsoever.
Okay.
Alec Hunter, let me speak. You going to let me speak at all? You
Sure,
said you
go
wanted
ahead.
to talk, but okay.
talking.
Verbatim. This is what happened. You gave that situation. You said if the guy says to her, "If you don't have sex with me, I'm going to kill you," and that was it. I asked for more details, and you refused. Then I flat out said that to you, and you said it wasn't rape. That's literally all that happened. People can go back and play the video and see it. Yes.
No. She specifically said. Here, let's pull it up. I have it right here. I'm screen sharing.
Also, Alec
This
Gunter,
was kind of
will you listen to this one thing, just in case you're going to cut me off? I'm not going to constantly answer your questions when you're not going to reciprocate back whatsoever. When I was asking questions, when I was trying to get anything out, you kept cutting me off and forcing me to answer more questions. That is very dishonest, and you can't even engage with that.
But what's dishonest? I'm pulling up your video.
What's
It's right
dishonest
here.
is you're not allowing it to be two-way. You're just saying, "Oh, there's going to be interrogation." I flat out even send the DMs like, "Hey, let's go back and forth just to make sure it's fair," And you're like, "Okay." You flat out said, "Okay," "Hey, we can do that." And now you're just refusing to even let me get anything in or ask you any questions. That's what was happening.
What would you like to add to what is being discussed at this point in time?
Well, one is I don't even care to discuss this because I
Why
want
not?
to
This
ask
is
you
your
a question
rhetoric.
about your. Well,
Yeah,
how,
you
okay,
only
how
want to
about
talk
this?
about mine.
Wait,
You
wait,
don't want
wait,
to talk about how
wait, wait, wait,
irresponsible yours
wait, wait, wait,
is.
wait, wait. We can
Just
do
mine.
both. Okay, how about this? You just asked me a question with that. Can I ask you a question about your rhetoric now?
Sure, buddy. I'm nothing
Okay,
if not fair.
so you claimed, correct me if I'm wrong whatsoever here. You claim that you're not in favor of violence unless it's self-defense, correct?
Yes,
And
for
violence,
the most part.
by
I'm sure
your
you could give me a
definition,
very hyper-specific situation in
you're
which
gonna let me
violence
finish,
is.
Alec Hunter? You're gonna let me finish?
I was adding context, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, no, your context for what constitutes violence is having a harmful belief that people want violence upon you, right? That you even posted memes about that. Is that not what you believe?
If you are an out and open Nazi, what you are saying is, I want to kill you, enslave you, and put you in a camp.
No, I never said
That's a
that.
threat. That's a threat. If you are an out
Okay,
and
so
open
wait,
Nazi,
is Richard
that is a
Spencer a
threat.
Nazi? Is,
Huh?
is Richard Spencer a Nazi?
Richard Spencer, I don't. I have to refresh on him, probably. But
You don't even know Richard Spencer? And he's like the epitome of all Nazis. He's a white supremacist. He's flat out like, hey, deport black people.
Okay.
You don't know Richard Spencer?
Yeah, maybe someone should teach him a lesson.
Okay, so you're in favor of calling him a Nazi?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, how about this then? Could you give an example of who you would call today that people know of, like on social media, that you would call a Nazi?
Who's the Nazi twink? Nick Fuentes, the one who was in
Okay,
bed
so
with
Nick
Destiny.
Fuentes, you call him a Nazi, and you're saying people should hit Nazis, correct? People should punch them, correct?
I think that you should be afraid of being a Nazi.
Are you going to answer the question? You flat out say that all the time. People should hit
I think
Nazis,
it's fine
correct?
to punch Nazis. Yeah.
Okay,
I
then
think
why
that's
don't
fine.
you say people should punch him? It's fine for people to go out and attack him. You flat out said people should punch. You're saying right now, oh, I think it's okay. Before you said it was a should. People should punch Nazis. You've said that many times. Why don't you get the balls to say people should punch Nick Fuentes? You're not, because that's illegal. You're a coward. You can't say it. You're not actually willing to speak
I don't
up with
advocate.
your belief.
I mean, like,
You don't advocate for violence because it's against the law and will get you arrested. It's not practical.
Why are you defending Nazis, man? That's my question. What's the deal?
Why?
All right,
Well, it's
why
because
do you
you're
have such a boner for
dehumanizing
them?
everybody you disagree with and calling everybody you disagree
Would you
with
give a
Nazi.
shit if would you give a shit if Nick Fuentes got punched? Because I wouldn't. I think it was funny.
I would very much give a shit if you said, hey, people should punch Nazis. You label Nick Fuentes as a Nazi and he gets punched for not doing anything.
Who cares
He
if
did not
somebody
do
punches
anything.
him? Who gives a shit? The man wants to commit
I love
violence
how
against
you
others.
twisted
He's a
things here,
walking,
though.
talking
You're
threat to
always like,
society.
people should punch
Who
Nazis.
cares?
You're always like, people should punch Nazis. People should punch Nazis. Now you're saying, well, I think I think that people, it's all right if I don't really care. It's all right. You're not willing to own up and say people should punch Nazis. You're not willing to even say that anymore.
I've
Buddy,
said
what
it's
happened
fine
to
to
you?
punch
You're
Nazis.
shriveling
It's
up.
fine to
You used
punch
to be a guy-
Nazis. Yes, it's fine.
Fine to punch people. Should
Nazis
punch
are a
Nazis.
walking, talking threat to society.
Should
They want to
people
kill
punch-
you.
No,
They
should-
want to
should people-
enslave you, and in some
Should
cases, they want to rape
Should
you.
people punch Nazis? No, should people punch Nazis? Should
Yeah,
they?
I think people should punch Nazis. If there's an out and open Nazi
And why
that
don't you
see
say people should punch Nick Fuentes? It's
brandishing the
exact same
Nazi
thing.
logo, or
You just
saying
called
that they're a
him
Nazi,
but you're not
yeah,
willing to say people
punch
should
him.
punch. Oh, so you're just advocating for violence now? That's advocating.
Nazis
for violence.
advocate for violence. Can we agree on that at least? Do Nazis advocate for violence? Yes or no?
So you're fine with
Well,
actively
you're so mad
advocating
at
for
me. You're
violence
so, oh my
against-
goodness. Oh, Alec. Oh, you're being such a pussy about my rhetoric. What about Nazis? Are they
Because
are
you
they
flat
threatening
out
violence?
said
Are
that you
Nazis?
don't condone-
Answer the question. Are
You're a
Nazis
coward.
threatening
That's why.
violence? Yes or no?
Depends on the. I haven't seen Nick.
Oh, it
Fuentes
depends.
threaten violence.
Some Nazis don't, right?
Oh, I thought you said Richard Spencer. You didn't even know who Richard
Some
Spencer
Nazis
was,
don't,
or if
right?
he
You
was a
said it
Nazi.
depends. You said it depends. So it depends. So I would
What?
actually like
I
to
never
return
even-
to
what
what
are
we're
you
talking
even
about here
talking
because
about? What are
you're
you even
so
talking-
poo-poo about my rhetoric.
What?
Let's see yours. So let's look at this video real quick, okay?
No,
let's see what she
it's
says.
not. No, I'm happy that you
Shut the
admitted
fuck
that
up for
you're
2 seconds.
endorsing
I remember
violence. You're
this
endorsing
moment where I
violence.
was
You
sitting
flat out did,
on
buddy.
top
You
and
endorse violence.
my
That's
face
illegal.
was turned away because
You just broke
he didn't want to look at my
broke the
face.
law, buddy.
I remember
You just flat out
realizing
endorsed violence.
that
Does that make you a Nazi now? You endorse violence against somebody.
You're so fucking stupid. Nazis endorse violence, man. self-defense.
Like, oh, so
violence
you're a
in
Nazi then.
self-defense.
You just endorsed violence
Violence
against
in
Nick
self-defense.
Fuentes. You just endorsed violence against Nick
Dog,
Fuentes. You're a
Nazis
Nazi. By your
endorsed it
definition,
first.
You're a Nazi.
Nazis
You're a
endorsed
Nazi,
it
Nick
first. Okay, I don't give
Oh.
a shit. I don't care.
Oh,
Why are you
okay,
defending
so
Nazis?
When
Huh?
did he
Awful
endorse
suspicious.
violence against you? Verbatim. When did he endorse violence against you, buddy?
He wants me in a camp because I promote like
Did he
trans
say that?
care.
When did he say that? When did he say that?
Who? Which one? Nick Fuentes?
Nick Fuentes. You just said he said that.
It doesn't
When
matter.
did he
If
say
he's a
that?
Nazi,
Oh,
and
so
he's-
yeah,
I'm pretty sure
you're-
he's an out and
oh,
open
you can't
Nazi,
even-
right? That's
Well,
Nazi
I
ideology.
suppose he
What do the
probably said it.
Nazis
He
do?
probably said it.
You're literally
You
sitting here
had a-
defending Nazis. That's rich, man. That's great. Good
You-
job.
I
You're
mean,
sitting
when
here
you're
defending
calling
Nazis.
when
You're like,
your
oh my gosh, the
definition of
Nazis.
Nazi
Oh,
is so
but we
flaky,
can't.
when
Oh,
you're
we can't commit violence against the Nazis. Oh, the Nazis want us
You're
dead.
de- Alec Hunter, the problem is your definition of Nazi doesn't mean anything. So yeah, I will defend those people.
Nick
you call
Fuentes is
Nazis.
a self-proclaimed Nazi, isn't he?
When did he advocate for violence specifically?
When
You
he
made that
called
claim.
himself a Nazi. Yes?
No.
That's what Nazis want.
That's not how it works.
Oh, that's not what Nazis want then, right? Nazis don't want violence.
So
Nazis
so
don't want
if I
violence,
call-
right?
Alec Hunter, if you call yourself
Do
a
Nazis? No, you
communist-
answer my fucking question, big boy.
No,
Nazis
they
don't want violence,
don't,
right?
Period.
They don't.
because
Okay, they
who
don't.
you're
Nazis
calling-
don't want
who
violence.
you're
Got it.
calling a
Let's
Nazi,
move on.
me-
Let's move
No,
on.
no, we're not
Nazis don't want
moving on,
violence.
Nick.
Remnant 777 has said it here
Alec Hunter.
on the record.
Oh, look at you
Nazis
trying
don't
to
want
bulldoze
violence.
your
Very
way.
good. Very
Look,
good.
Alec Hunter,
Let's move
I got
on.
what I wanted. Literally, I got what I wanted. I can leave right now if you don't actually engage with anything I say, and I can just take this as a victory.
I'm engaging perfectly. You
endorse
just said
violence.
Nazis don't want violence. That's
No,
great.
You're not engaging with me. You keep
That's
turning
great.
me off.
You said that.
You're not engaging with me.
You said Nazis don't
endorsed
want violence.
against Nick Fuentes. You're calling against violence against people who did nothing. He didn't do anything. When was the last time
Nazis
he did
want violence. I
So
hate to
did
break
he-
that to you.
what
If
is
you
the
say that you're a
definition of
Nazi,
violence?
you are
What is the
advocating for
definition of
violence by
violence?
default.
What is the definition of violence?
Displacing people against their will, killing people against their will, torturing people against. Well, violence in
Definition of-
self-defense is not
No, you
necessarily
dumbass.
against their will.
The definition of
Violence
violence
is-
act,
Violence
having-
is inflicting
putting-
pain.
The
Go ahead.
definition of violence is inflicting harm upon people via the use of physical force. He has not done anything violent.
Is violence ever
by
justified?
definition.
Is
You're
violence
changing
ever
the
justified?
definition of- when you're changing the definition of violence, no, it's not justified
Okay, so
because somebody
and
hurt
I'm
your
asking
feelings
you.
out
Is,
of
I'm asking you. Is violence ever justified?
in self-defense when it's not simply,
great.
oh,
Okay,
somebody
great.
says something
So
I
if-
disagree with. Oh,
So if somebody's
Alec
threatening
Hunter.
if somebody's threatening your existence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Violence is justified against them.
You threaten my existence. You threaten my existence by saying Christians should die.
I never said Christians should die. When did I say
I'm
that?
pretty sure you probably said it somewhere in the stream, according
Pull
to
up the
your
clip.
logic.
Pull it
That's
up.
literally what
No,
you
no,
said
no,
to
no.
Nick
You just
Fuentes.
accused me of a very specific quote. Pull it up.
Yes, I did. Because you
Okay, pull it
accused
up.
Nick
What-
Fuentes
Show
and
me
he
where
can't
I said
substantiate
Christians
it.
should die. I have family who's
Well,
Christians. I
why
never
do
said that.
Why do I? Okay, let me ask you a question. Why do I have to show you?
Because you just accused me of that.
You just accused Nick Fuentes of wanting you dead. And
Because
you
he's a
didn't
Nazi!
substantiate that. Well,
The
you're
man's a
communist,
Nazi!
And you hate Christians, and you want us
Communist.
dead.
Oh my God, you're so fucking stupid.
literally what
Let's
you're
take a look
doing
at
to
somebody that you
everybody
follow
you
on here. I'd
disagree
like to
with.
take a look at this clip from Woman Propaganda, one of the people you follow on
the
Twitter.
decisions
And I'd like to know what you
affect
think
my
about
life.
this, if this is violent rhetoric to you.
No, dude.
I love
We need to
women
put women
propaganda.
back
It's
in
really
chains.
fun.
I know you do.
Women are out of control.
Yeah, that's why. I
They're
follow.
refusing to get married and have children. No one's
I
having
mean,
kids
you're fine with
anymore.
following
The men
Hassan,
want to
who
have
literally
kids.
Says that.
Okay, so he says put. So this guy's saying put women back in chains. What do you think about that?
I think it's kind of funny. You got?
Oh,
a
you think it's
problem
funny?
with
It's
that?
fine when he does it, right?
Well, it's fine when you laugh at people talking about.
No, no,
how
no.
it's
This is
good for
about
white
you and
people
the
to
people
get
you
raped.
follow
Who
and
laughed
endorse.
at-
But you're
Yo,
so
Alec
worried
Hunter-
about my rhetoric, right? What about
Okay,
when he
wait,
says
let's-
put women in chains?
I thought you, Alec Hunter. I thought you said comedy should be legal. What is fine to joke about? What is
Okay,
fine to
it
joke
stops
about?
being comedy past a
It's a
certain
joke.
point. This guy, all he does
What
is
point?
talk about how much he wants women in chains.
Hunter.
You can dress it
Alec
up in
Hunter.
comedy all you want, but that's pussy
Talk.
shit. That's
Alec
what
Hunter,
Nazis
we
love
need
to
to
do
talk.
is pussy shit.
Okay,
He just said put women
how
in
about
chains.
this? You say what your thoughts real quick.
Do you
and then I
agree?
wanna
Should we put
ask
women
you
in
a
chains?
question
Should we
on-
put women in chains? In chains.
No, it was a joke.
It was a
What's wrong with
joke? Okay, let's see some of the replies. There's a
no,
reason
no,
that's
Alec
ever.
Hunter.
There's a
When-
reason that.
what is
wait,
it- what
hold
is
on. It was a
fun to-
joke, right? It was a
what
joke.
is
So
it fun to
everybody
joke
here
about?
should know that. Everybody here should know that it was a joke,
Alec
and we're
Hunter,
all laughing.
what
Haha!
can we
No, we
joke
don't
about?
actually
Are
want
you
women in
the-
chains. Let's take a
Literally,
look
you
at the
said you
replies,
weren't the,
shall we?
funny
You
police,
don't want
but
to
now
look at the
you are the
replies
funny
because you
police.
know that some people buy this, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't. So
Oh, you
what's the
don't.
problem?
Okay, got it. You just think it's funny, but like
Alec Hunter.
other people do, right?
Alec Hunter, I'll answer one
So
more
this
question,
guy,
then I
so
wanna
this
ask
guy,
you a
as a
question.
result of
Alec
his
Hunter,
words,
I wanna ask
is
you-
inflicting
Alec Hunter,
violence.
I'll
Correct?
answer
That's
one more
violent rhetoric.
question I'm going to answer one more question, then I'm going to ask you a question. All right?
Did this
I'm not going to
guy?
engage with you like this when you're just forcing the whole conversation to me.
So you don't agree with what this guy said?
Put women in chains if he meant it? No, I wouldn't.
Okay, there are a lot of comments here, I'm sure, that agree with him. What do you think of that?
Okay.
Do you think that his rhetoric is irresponsible?
I'm not responsible for what everybody says on the
Oh,
internet.
but you're responsible for what I say, though, right? You're like
No,
my
you're
daddy,
responsible.
right?
You're
Oh,
responsible.
okay.
What
Then
do you
shut
mean?
the fuck up and let me say what I'm going to say, because you do that for this guy. It's fine when this guy
real
does it,
quick.
right? It's fine when he does, because you laugh at it, because I don't know if you agree with it or
Well,
not.
then let's
It seems like you
establish some
do.
clear parameters for what is acceptable comedy. Why don't we do that? You're saying that it's fine when you joke, but it's not fine when I joke or he jokes. Let's establish flat out rules for everybody what it is fine to joke about. Are you willing to do that, Alec Hunter? Let's make it clear what is acceptable and what isn't.
When you have people in the
Are-
comments,
Are you going to
agreeing
actually
with this
engage
guy,
with what I just said? Do you
there are
want to
people
discuss
in the
what is
comments
acceptable
agreeing with this guy. You can call it a joke all you fucking want, but there are people in the comments who agree with him and inflict violence on women as a result. Do you or do you not agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, then he has engaged in violent rhetoric. The outcome was violent, right? But you follow him
No.
and you love what he does.
So, Alec Hunter, do you want to actually talk about what is fine to joke about? You said you weren't the funny police. You said that people should be allowed to joke. Let's talk about what people can and cannot joke about, okay? Are you
Okay,
fine with that?
that's fine. Let's take a look at something that you've joked about. New look at Ironheart premiering June 24th on Disney. Is that George Droid? Can you explain that one?
Is he George Droid?
What's the joke? I don't get it.
Well, is George Floyd? Oh, he got brought back to life.
He does. I don't think he looks like George Floyd. I don't get it.
I don't know. It's just a joke. So you know the George.
Oh, it's just a
Droid
joke. Got it.
meme?
Huh?
Wait, am I inciting violence against George Floyd? He's already dead, bro. What do you mean?
But like, you're fine that he's dead. You're fine that a police officer kneeled on his neck for 9 minutes and killed him, right?
I mean,
Like
you're
Derek
fine
Chauvin
with,
is
a
based for
Trump
that,
supporter.
right?
You're
No.
fine with,
You see, now you're deflecting. Answer the question. Are you fine that he's dead?
Yeah,
Did
because
he
you
deserve
hold
it?
me to unrealistic
deserve it?
standards you can't even fulfill
You're
yourself.
calling me violent. You're joking about a man who was
Yeah.
killed by the fucking police. Did he deserve
According
it?
to your own standards, you are violent.
Did he deserve it?
Ooh.
George Floyd. Did he deserve
don't
to be
really
killed
care
by
about
Derek
that, and
Chauvin
I don't
because
know
he was
anything
found
about
in
that
a
stuff.
court of law? Huh? Say it again.
I don't really know anything about that.
Oh, you don't
situation. I
know.
don't
Wait,
care.
you don't know about George Floyd? Then why are you joking about him?
I mean, yeah, I've heard his name, but I don't care. Do you think I look into these things? I'm like, I got to have an
You're such a
opinion about
pussy.
this black guy.
You're such
How-
a fucking
How
pussy.
am I a pussy?
Let's take a look
You're
at
the
this
one
one.
who's
Here,
not willing
tell me what you
Oh,
think
wait,
about this joke.
you keep
Tell me
on
what you
saying
think
that
about
you're-
this joke.
No,
Sounds
no,
like
no.
a low
You
life
just said-
upbringing for
you
you
just-
to get into physical fights at a young age. This is N-word behavior. Civilized people know how to conduct themselves and to prevent fights. That is what fathers are for. I never thought as a kid because I live in a white town with low crime
going
kids who
through
had both parents. We are civilized. Is this really the cope blacks tell themselves for living in a city they destroyed and made violent? What, can you explain that joke? I don't find that funny.
Where? I'm not even looking at your stream, buddy.
I am sharing screen for you.
You sharing screen on Twitter. I don't want to go on your stream.
My apologies. I meant to share screen with you.
Thank you. Oh, it's all good. Let me see.
Please, by all means, explain the joke.
Let me see. When was this even made? Everywhere. That was a couple of months ago. What was the even
Oh, so
original
we're over
content?
that. We're over that. That was months ago. I'm a changed person now, right?
What was I even replying to? The account is suspended. What was I even replying to?
What would make this? What context would make this acceptable to you?
Well, according to you, jokes are fine, bro.
Okay, what's the joke?
Huh?
Explain the joke.
Comedy is subjective. You don't need a punchline.
No, I'm asking you to explain the joke.
Well, don't worry. I'm just a very unfunny person.
So this was just like a bad joke from you then?
Maybe. Would you have a problem with that? What would that mean if I made this joke? What would it mean if I say these things? What does it mean? What does
Well,
it
to
say
me, it
about
sounds
me?
like you have a. To me, it sounds like you have a very legitimate problem with black people as like a principle. Is that true?
Well, as principal, oh no, I don't have anything problem with them. No, I
Oh,
love
you
black
don't.
people.
Okay, so then this was just like
Yeah,
just
but
something that kind of
a
came to your
black
head.
person,
You know,
in my
maybe you
server,
were.
there's a black person, an admin. I love black people.
Okay, but with, the N-word behavior thing didn't, it didn't mean anything, right?
What
That's just
N-word?
like the one. It's not the hard N. It's just the one that people used to say.
What N-word?
The one that used. I'm not saying it,
There are a
man.
lot of words that start with the letter N.
You are so fucking disingenuous. I'd like to ask you
You're not
about.
engaging with anything I said. You flat out said we're going to talk about what is acceptable comedy, and then you just went into more and more stuff. You're not engaging with anything I said, so why do I have to engage with anything
Let's
you
see.
said? I told
Racialized
you,
lynching
when
terror.
you're not.
According to the Equal Justice Initiative, more
Oh,
than
lovely
4,400
Wikipedia.
African Americans were
Lovely
lynched from
Wikipedia.
1877 to 1940. Do you think that that's violent?
I'm not engaging with what you're saying until we actually go to the part where
I know
you
you're not,
said
because
we're
you're
going
not
to
even
talk
engaging
about
with what you're
comedy.
saying. You can't own it. You're allergic to accountability.
You said after that question we're going to talk about comedy, and then you just went
No
went into
accountability.
three
We
more
are talking about
questions.
comedy. That was a joke, right?
What
Funny,
is
haha?
acceptable comedy? What is acceptable comedy?
Not that. Because
You
it's not
found-
comedy.
you found
That was
rape
not
funny,
comedy.
buddy.
Just
That's
own
the
it. Just
problem.
say
You
that.
found
Just
rape
say that
funny.
was. Just own it and say that was not comedy.
Huh?
Just say it.
You found rape funny. That's what I gotta say. You find rape funny. How is rape acceptable to joke about, Alec Gunter? How is rape acceptable to laugh at? When Hassan said that white Christian women should be raped, well, no, he didn't say should. It's better for them to be raped, which your chat actually said was based. You argued with your own chat member who said it was based in the clip. And
I said it was
you
a
found it
spicy
funny.
take. All I said
Yeah,
was
you
just,
said,
it was
well,
spicy.
I could just say that about.
I never said
what
it
is
was funny,
woman
man.
Propaganda. It's just a spicy take. Maybe
I
have
think the
just a spicy
overwhelming
take.
majority of what Hassan says and does is positive. I think that he's having a positive impact on the world, unlike
Gotcha.
you. Okay?
So
The
but
best
I don't
thing you
care
can
about
do for
what
the
Hi-
world at
I
this
don't care
point is
about
either change
Hassan.
as a
You
person and
laughed
get better
when he
or
talked
disappear.
about white Christian women getting raped.